Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. I'm actually filming this video on Friday, June 18th, because as you guys know, I said I'm going to try and stay totally off the internet, totally off social media tomorrow, Saturday, June 19th, which is when you guys will be watching this. Even though I know you're going to be watching this online, I really hope that everyone takes the time to celebrate today, because today is supposed to be a joyous day. And I think that a lot of people are trying to steal Black Americans' joy right now. I don't know how else to call it. I do have a video called Black Joy is Revolution, which obviously everything I mentioned in this video will be linked in the description box. So videos and, all types of stuff. There will be a lot of links. Please check them out. I might also put at least some of the links in a pinned comment, but please look in the description box. This video, as you guys can see by the title, is called On Juneteenth and Fly Your Flag Part 2. These are obviously videos that I've made previously. I've already done several videos on Juneteenth. My first video on Juneteenth is from 5 years ago, so I also want to say that it's really weird to see so much fuss around Juneteenth, which I'm going to get to a little bit later in this video, but I've already done several videos on Juneteenth, along with a video on alternative holidays for Black Americans to celebrate, where I also mentioned Juneteenth. I also mentioned Emancipation Day, which is April 15th. For example, I don't celebrate July 4th, which everybody knows. I do not celebrate it. It's weird to me. I find it weird that Black Americans celebrate this day. No shade to anybody that does, but I don't. And in my video on flags, I talked about the American flag. I talked about the Juneteenth flag. I'm also going to talk about some flags in this video as well, which is why I called this video On Juneteenth plus Fly Your Flag Part 2. So again, please watch all those videos I just named if you haven't seen them, or if you're, a little bit unfamiliar. I know there's a lot of fuss around Juneteenth right now. Juneteenth has been turned into this really weird negative thing on the internet, which is so gross to me. Because Juneteenth is supposed to be a celebration, and it's something that Black Americans have been celebrating across the United States for 100 years, since the 1920s. So it's weird to feel like I'm gonna say the three main things that I feel like I've seen people having a problem. The first are the people that are trying to, I guess this one, the pinky. The first is the people that are trying to make it seem like Juneteenth is for everybody, which my video last year is called Juneteenth is for Black Americans only. It's really crass and tasteless and disgusting to be a non-Black American. I don't care if you're a foreign Black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're a non-Black person of color. It's really crass and tasteless to me and gross to be a non-Black American that is trying to drop your cash apps, capitalize off Juneteenth, have some type of sale. If you guys buy anything for Juneteenth, I really hope that you support Black American owned businesses specifically. Please look into the background of the business that you're supporting on Juneteenth specifically. And I just find it to be really gross. Black Americans really can't have shit. We really can't have nothing without everybody trying to jump in the pot. And I have a whole playlist, BA Gang playlist. I have a whole web series, The Black Americans, if you want to know more or learn more about some of my work on Black American cultural preservation, which I've been doing for a long time now. And so that's the first weirdness. The second weirdness is the people that are acting like Juneteenth is this new thing, the people that they just heard of Juneteenth last year in 2020. And so now that Juneteenth has been made a federal holiday, you have these people that are trying to make it seem like, well, nobody asked for this. Pause. Black Americans across the United States have been celebrating this holiday literally for 100 years, since the 1920s. And as I said in my live stream, since the Great Migration, when the original Texans that celebrated Juneteenth spread throughout the United States and took their cultural customs with them. I'm going to read you guys a little bit of an excerpt. Give me 1 second. Isabel Wilkerson, who's an author, amazing, wrote in her book, Warmth of a Thousand Suns, which is an amazing book that I highly recommend. The book is specifically about the Great Migration experience of Black Americans. Wilkerson wrote in her book, the people from Texas took Juneteenth Day to Los Angeles, Oakland, Seattle, and other places that they went after the Great Migration. So for anyone that doesn't know, I don't know how you don't know at this point, but for a little backstory on Juneteenth, it is the commemoration of the actual end of American chattel slavery in the United States, when the last enslaved persons in Galveston, Texas were freed forcibly several years after the Emancipation Proclamation, because they were never told that they were freed, even though they had been freed several years earlier. So this date was on June 19th, 1865. This June 19th, Juneteenth. Celebrations of the date began in 1866 in Texas as Jubilee Day. And a lot of times Juneteenth is still known as Jubilee or Black Independence Day, Black American Independence Day. And over time, these celebrations spread throughout the South, as well as, again, being transported throughout the United States in the 1920s. So Juneteenth has been celebrated in Texas and in the South, especially the Deep South, since 1866, literally. And it's been celebrated by Black Americans across the United States since the Great Migration of the 1920s. Juneteenth has a history. Juneteenth has roots. I talked about this quite a bit in my live stream from Thursday, which I'll also include a link to. But Juneteenth has been celebrated across the United States by Black Americans specifically. Now, obviously, everywhere is going to have some different customs. I know, for example, that the Miss Juneteenth parade and the Miss Juneteenth pageant is very much Texas specific. So like that is not something that's done everywhere. That's something that is only done in Texas, right? And something really interesting about Black American culture is that even though Black American culture is still very much regional, we do also still have shared cultural norms and customs, especially because for many of us, our families are from only a few places, right? Like our families are from North Carolina, like mine. Our families are from South Carolina. Our families are from Texas. Our families are from Mississippi. Our families are from Louisiana. For the vast majority of us, our families are from, a certain place because of plantations, because of American chattel slavery. Not to say that it was only in the South, because that's not true. The current place that Wall Street stands on right now used to be one of the largest slave auction blocks in the United States. Go look it up if you didn't know that, okay? Because people in the North and out West love to try to absolve themselves of the sins of American chattel slavery when they are culpable as well. Okay, so Black Americans have a really rich history, really rich heritage, and a really rich culture that consists of shared customs, as well as some customs that are regional, because that is actually one of the hallmarks of culture and ethnicity, is shared customs. And Juneteenth is ultimately a commemoration of the end of American chattel slavery. Now, like foreign Blacks, absolutely not. Non-Black persons of color, absolutely not. Whites, it's not for you. So for me to see white people and non-Black persons of color and foreign Blacks throwing in their 2 cents on how like they don't want it, like it's good that you don't want it because it's not for you. It's good that you don't want it because it's already not for you. Also, many of our elders have been fighting for a really long time for the official federal recognition of Juneteenth as a national federal holiday. Let me also say that over 45 states plus my city, the District of Columbia, already recognize Juneteenth as an official holiday. People have been really fighting for decades for it to be recognized as a federal holiday where we don't have work or school. And the reason that was repeatedly given was that the government could not afford to give workers another day off. So also know that like the reason why, and also because like they didn't want the niggers to have it, right? So the reason why we have never had this as a federal holiday for Black Americans previously is because of capitalism and racism, and especially anti-Black American sentiment. So again, like you have to know the proper history and context of Juneteenth as a holiday, as a date, before you guys try to come with your hot takes, like as if this is something brand new that we just like received out of nowhere. I think there's a lot of hate. I think there's a lot of saltiness. I think there's a lot of jealousy from people that are mad because they thought that we would never actually get this, and now we have. Let me also say that people really seem to, as I also said in my live stream, not see the forest for the trees in terms of the significance of this becoming a federal holiday. Juneteenth is a real day with a meaning, okay? It is not like just a random slogan or just a random thing that, like, it's not like, I've seen people try to like make the false equivalence, the false comparison of like making Juneteenth a federal holiday is the same thing as painting Black Lives Matter on the street. No, it's not. Like, number one, Black Lives Matter doesn't really, I don't want to say that it doesn't represent anything tangible, but ultimately Black Lives Matter is a slogan. Like although there is also an organization, which now we're not going to get into the organization, but ultimately Black Lives Matter is a slogan. In a lot of ways, it can mean whatever you want it to mean. Juneteenth is not that. And there's a lot of people that, again, obviously they don't really understand the roots and the significance of this day, and the fact that Black Americans have literally been celebrating it for over a century, and that for decades our elders have been pushing for this to be made a national holiday and have never received it for capitalist and racist reasons. Also, as somebody that is pushing hard for reparations, if you haven't seen my video on reparations, please check it out. I literally have an 11-prong plan on reparations and on rebuilding our Black American communities. I also find it really weird to see this binary thinking, like just because Juneteenth became a federal holiday, that now means we stop pushing for reparations, or like that now means we stop pushing against police brutality, or, you know, like, number one, we can walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time. We can be happy that Juneteenth is now a federally recognized holiday, and we can also push for reparations. And in fact, a lot of people also don't seem to realize that Juneteenth is the first time, Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday is the first time that the American government has actually acknowledged that American chattel slavery happened, that it was a bad thing, and that the last enslaved Black Americans had to be forcibly freed because white people didn't want to do it. This is the first time we actually have that recognition. So this is the first time that we now have, now we have a precedent, okay? This, low-key, they fucked up making it a federal holiday, which is why they pushed against it for so long, right? Because now we have a tangible recognition from the government that American chattel slavery happened and that it was bad. So now we can be like, oh, now we have Juneteenth. Now we have this official recognition. We have this acknowledgement. Now we have now we can push for reparations even harder. Now we have acknowledgement that Black Americans are our own, acknowledgement from the government that Black Americans are our own ethnic group that have a unique heritage and history in this country. So the next time the census comes around, we can be like, oh, remember back in 2021 when you guys made Juneteenth an official holiday? Yeah, that's because Black Americans are their own ethnic group. Let's get our own designation on the census. This is an important step for what we're trying to accomplish, okay? Like, I need you guys to look at the bigger picture, see the forest for the trees. Don't just you're just standing in front of the tree, all you see is bark, okay? You don't see the whole forest around you. And I've also seen all these people talking about CRT, critical race theory. Let me also say, we all also don't seem to realize is that now Juneteenth is going to have to be something that's taught about in school, because now it's a day off from work. It's a day off from school, depending on when school ends. It's a day off from summer camp. It's a federal day that has to be recognized, meaning it's something that we're going to have to learn about. We're going to have to teach the kids about it in school, just like we do every other federally recognized day. Oh my God, teaching the kids about Juneteenth and the end of slavery and race in school is what? I think it's critical race theory. So how can y'all say that this goes against what you want? Are people even thinking through what their arguments are? Because the arguments don't make sense. Trying to say that we're not going to get other things because we got this is a false equivalence. It's the result of a scarcity mindset, feeling like we can only fight for one thing at a time, or or that we can't have some joy over something while we're still fighting for other things. And this is something that we've had to deal with repeatedly in this activism, space. We can walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time. We can focus on this and police brutality and reparations and the school system. I have several videos on fixing a broken school system. So we can focus on all these things at once and have some respect for the elders and the activists that came before us, okay? Like Opal Lee, who was born and raised in Texas and walked to Washington, D.C. and traveled to Washington, D.C. numerous times trying to get Juneteenth turned into a federal holiday, okay? And I will superimpose some other little infographics that were made by Khalil Green, my son, hi Khalil, on some of our other elders that have wanted this and have fought for this for a long time. And do not underestimate the significance of what this means in terms of what we, Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, want. This sets an important precedent for what we want. And ultimately, before 2020, before everyone decided to make Juneteenth and Black Americans their business, we've been celebrating it. It's supposed to be a joyous day, a joyous occasion. It becoming a federal holiday does not take away from anything else that other people are trying to accomplish. It being a federal holiday does not take away from you trying to accomplish CRT or you trying to fight against police brutality. Continue to go hard. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna continue to do. Like, it's weird. The whole situation is very strange to me. And I think there's a lot of hate and a lot of jealousy, and also a lot of people that never thought that we were going to get this, that now they know certain things are also going to come down the pipe, and they're not ready for their fucking money to dry up from talking about Black American issues and talking about Black American problems. So once we get something, they got to try to turn it into a negative. Like, I literally saw somebody be like, we don't need Juneteenth to be made a holiday. We need police brutality to end against Black and brown bodies. What do the brown bodies have to do with this? Nothing. Everybody is constantly trying to get Black Americans to mule for them all the fucking time. Like, cut it out. Like, and sure, I've done several videos on stuff like the Asian Americans getting fucking legislature passed to quote unquote protect them, which really all it did was up the police presence, which we don't fucking want either. But like, there's a lot of people that's really cutting off their nose to spite their face here for some hot takes on social media, for some likes and for some woke points. And it's all very much giving off performative outrage, which is hilarious because they're trying to call something that many Black American activists have been fighting for decades, and something that's going to solidify and set a precedent in the eyes of the United States government of Black Americans as our own ethnic group that needs certain things like fucking reparations. People seem like they're not with that. I wonder why. Anti-Black American sentiment. So again, it's just very weird to see people trying to turn Juneteenth into this negative, disgusting, toxic thing and wanting to argue with Black Americans all over social media on what's supposed to be our day of joy. I don't argue with Caribbeans on motherfucking Labor Day when they out there on the parkway with their flags. Hey, have fun, have a great day. I don't argue with Haitians when it's Haitian Independence Day. Do you, have a blast. Yeah, we're seeing all this negative toxicity around Juneteenth finally being made a federal holiday, like, and people trying to act like that's going to stop them from doing something else. Isn't this something that always happens whenever Black Americans get a little something? Interesting. So, and we're going to continue to celebrate it. I'm going to continue to celebrate it just like I've been celebrating it every other year. Every other year that I've been celebrating it. Like people are really telling on themselves how they just got here and they have no idea what this, what the backstory is on this day and on this holiday and the fight that's been going on for a long time for this holiday to finally become federal. Like, people really don't understand. And also for the people that are like, it doesn't sit well with me that white people are going to get this day off. You literally sound like a fucking dumbass. Like, people are really putting out there rebuttals that are not, they're non-arguments. Like, how do you feel about non-Black Americans getting the day off? I don't give a fuck. I don't think about them. I do not care. This day is for me and my people. Like I said in my live stream, this would be like Christians saying, I don't like that Jews get Christmas off. They don't even celebrate Christmas and they killed Jesus Christ anyway. So let's get rid of Christmas. We're not going to celebrate the birth of Christ anymore because Jews get, like, how does that sound? It's a non-argument. It's a non-argument. People trying to say that us getting this means we're not going to get CRT. That's a non-argument. Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday has nothing to do with CRT. Y'all can continue pushing it for CRT. Just because we got Juneteenth as a federal day does not negate from your push for CRT. That's a non-argument. Just because Juneteenth became a federal holiday does not negate from your fight against police brutality if you're really about that life like I am. That's a non-argument. Just because Juneteenth became a federal holiday does not mean that now we stop our fight for reparations if you're really about that life like I am. That's a non-argument. And trying to make the argument or the false equivalence that Juneteenth becoming a federally recognized holiday is simply symbolic is a false equivalence. It's literally false. It is literally false. Because we, Black Americans, have been fighting for this for a long time. We've been celebrating it for a very long time. And the reason why we haven't had it up until now was because of some racist shit in the fucking first place. And I'm going to read you guys a little bit. You guys know I'm all about cultural preservation. I'm all about anthropology. That's what I do. That's what I'm about. So I'm going to read you guys something that was posted by Queen in Discord. Queen also left a comment on yesterday's live stream talking about how people don't understand the Great Migration and how the Great Migration worked and how Black Americans have a lot of shared culture because of that, because we traveled everywhere. They don't get it. So Queen posted in Discord, I just watched a PBS special on Tulsa. This is what the anthropologist said about recording. It was on Tulsa, the fire and the forgotten. We want to put our findings in the historical record so that the revisionists can't come along in a generation or two and say, oh, this never happened. It's hard, for a revisionist to argue with a skull with a gunshot wound to the head. And Queen put, when you, Seren, spoke about the importance of having Juneteenth officially federally recorded, it is the proper direction to take in the push for reparations and more. It is proof, and more proof is essential to have in our fight for reparations. As you said, as Seren said, officially recorded and legally recognized to set a precedent that something happened, leaves no room for debate and doubt. Right now, at this very moment, they're printing fucking school books in Texas that say, oh, slaves were migrants. They were migrant workers. They were farmers. American chattel slavery revisionism and denial is a very real thing, okay? So now having a federal holiday recognizing that American chattel slavery not only existed, that it occurred, but that when it ended, white people still didn't want to let go to the point where several years after the Emancipation Proclamation, the very last enslaved Black Americans had to be forcibly freed in Galveston, Texas. This is a record of what happened, okay? So the revisionists can't come along later and say that shit didn't happen. These motherfuckers don't deserve no reparations. Ha 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 ha! We have a federal holiday now, bitch. Go take your revisionist history elsewhere. See the bigger picture, y'all. See the bigger picture. That's all I ask. I might see some sweat on my face because it's warm in here because I don't have the air on because it's too fucking noisy. So now that all that's out of the way, let's get into some Juneteenth unboxings. Happy Juneteenth to my Black Americans. Happy Juneteenth to my descendants of American chattel slavery. For the rest of this video, I'm going to be unboxing some really cool stuff and also discussing another flag, the Black American Heritage flag. When I made my first video on flags, I hadn't seen it yet. But over the last year to year and a half, this flag has become really popular. Several people have hit me up asking me to talk about it. I also love it as well, and I've been trying to get my hands on one, but it's pretty tough to find. So the Black American Heritage flag was created in 1967 by Melvin Charles, a Black American who also wrote a book in 1994 called The Rallying Point, about the concept of the flag and some of his ideas for Black American liberation. It is also very hard to find this book, but I am trying to get my hands on one. So according to the designers of the Black American Heritage flag, I'm just going to read, the elements of the flag include the color black to represent pride and pigmentation and race, red to remind us of the rich blood that Black men and women have shed for freedom, equality, justice, and human dignity throughout the world, and gold to represent intellect, prosperity, and peace. These colors are woven into a composition that juxtaposes the red and black in a set of 3 stripes, 1 black stripe centered between 2 red. Superimposed on the black stripe is a golden wreath of fig leaves, one of the most ancient of life-sustaining fruits. Centered within the golden wreath, is a blunted Moorish boarding sword, symbol of leadership carried by the Moorish leaders of the 8th century. The sword represents the strength and authority exhibited by a Black American culture, that made many contributions to the world in mathematics, art, medicine, and physical science, heralding the contributions that Black Americans would make in these and other fields. Isn't that just... Love that. So a subscriber did reach out to me with information on how I could get some patches with the Black American Heritage flag on them, which I have here. I could not get a flag and I could not get the book, but I got some patches. So let me also say I did find, I found a couple of links where Black American Heritage flags are available for sale, but they're totally sold out. One of those links also had some Black American Heritage flag shirts for sale. I did order a shirt, but I didn't order it soon enough to get it for this video, but I will include links in the description box to some really cool Juneteenth and Black American Heritage merch. So again, please check the links in the description box. So my patches are in here. Okay. So it just says what I have. I bought these on Etsy. So this is the flag. This is the Black American Heritage. Well, I mean, I'm going to superimpose, so you guys will have already seen it. But this is my Black American Heritage flag. It's an iron-on patch. So you just, oh no, actually, it's not an iron-on patch. I totally lied. It's a Velcro. Oh, that's cool. But I think the Velcro part I can iron on. Let me see. Yeah, these are Velcro backs, and I can iron them on. Cool. So, Black American Heritage patch. Woo! And I also have a shirt coming. So as you can see, we have the red and the black, the wreath, and the sword, which I just described to you the meaning behind. Focus. No, not gonna focus. Okay. And I also ordered this one, which is a Juneteenth flag. In my Fly Your Flags video, I talk about the Juneteenth flag, but for anyone that doesn't know, I'm just going to read you guys a little bit about this. The Juneteenth flag represents the history and freedom of the American slaves and their descendants. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus, but I don't want to focus. Okay, don't focus then. The design of the Juneteenth flag depicts a bursting new star on the horizon. The star represents a new freedom, a new people, a new star. The red, white, and blue colors communicate that the American slaves and their descendants were all Americans. So that's Juneteenth flag. I mean, this flag is it. No shade on this one because I fuck with this one too, but this design with the gold, But these are my two patches. And I also have this shirt. I'm so sorry, y'all. I bought this shirt like last year around Juneteenth time. And I cannot remember where I got it. I'm so sorry. I've tried to find it. Can't find it. But I will include links to some other Black American-owned businesses that you can support to buy some Juneteenth merch. I bought another shirt. Well, I'll get to that. But I'm so sorry. And it doesn't say, because it's just printed on like a plain black shirt. So this is the shirt that I'm going to be wearing all day tomorrow. But by the time you guys are watching this, today, Saturday, Juneteenth. I'm so sorry that I don't have information on where I got it for you guys. But I did get from Chris Cardi, which long-term subscribers will know I've bought several things from Chris Cardi. They're a Black American brand ran out of Washington, D.C. So if you want, you can check out my old video on some of the stuff I bought from them previously, of course. I'll include a link, and it's also in the Black Friday playlist, which is all my Black-owned business unboxings from the last 6 years. And Chris Cardi, they're now shipping in 100% compostable bags made from corn. Sustainability, we love to see it. And from Chris Cardi, I bought, oh, look what it came, I just opened it up, and look what it came with. It came with a button. I bought a shirt, a tank top, and it came with a button. Oh, you're not about to tell me nothing tomorrow. I'm about to be with my Velcro patches, my shirt or my tank top, my button. You not about to tell me nothing tomorrow or today, since y'all watching it today. But I just opened it. Juneteenth, Freedom Day, an American holiday. Like, the fact that motherfuckers don't have a problem with fucking July 4th being a holiday that we're off and we celebrate for. Niggas have no problem going to the beach and head to toe American flag and fucking camo gear, but people talking about they don't want Juneteenth to be a holiday. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. Juneteenth, Freedom Day, an American holiday. This is our ode in commemoration of Juneteenth, a celebration of resilience. Our purpose is to provide a form of symbolism through style and bring greater awareness to the significance of this day in American history and to the cultural fabric of our nation. The struggle continues. For those of y'all that thought that just because I got this tank top, I think the struggle's over. Look, they even put it on the shit. It's not focusing, but it says here, trust me, it says the struggle continues. Come on, focus. There we go. Focus. Thank you. And it's like see-through. Oh, it's like a jersey, bitch. It's like jersey material. It says 1865 on the back. Sorry, I didn't realize it was jersey material. Oh, I'm stunting tomorrow. You're not about to tell me nothing. Tank top. I'm stunting. I'm about to have this on. Oh, because this is just like a regular t-shirt. I'm about to put the t-shirt on and I'm going to put the tank top over it. Like, and dare somebody to say something. Say something. Say something. Say something. So, yes, this is my tank top. Don't let anybody steal your joy today, guys. Seriously. Please, like, go outside, take a walk, hang out with your friends, hang out with your families, you know. If you got to be online, just be online to drop your Cash App and get paid, and that's it. Don't let anybody steal your joy on June 19th, which is a joyous day, okay? Like, so this is my tank top. This is hot fire. And the very last thing that I have here, so a lot of you guys also know that, am I in focus? Okay. So a lot of you guys also know that part of the catalyst for my Fly Your Flag video was the fact that I do also use an American flag in episodes of the Black Americans. I have like a normal red, white, and blue. And I also have a black and gray one that a lot of people have liked a lot. And I've talked about wanting to get another American flag for that purpose, which I did get, which is what this is. And this is just like random from a flag shop, but it's, ooh, wait, let's see if you guys can, so as you guys can see, it's just like a totally, oh, I have it backwards, sorry, it's hard to tell. Okay, as you guys can see, it's just like a totally blacked out stars and stripes. I know it's hard to see, but it's a full-size, blacked-out, gray and black Stars and Stripes flag. Because I do like the black and white, or the all-black and the black and gray United States flag. Outkast had one, and I've always liked this. And for those of you that haven't seen my Fly Your Flag video, the first one, please go watch it, because I do talk about the fact that I still like the American flag. I do still feel like an American. I appreciate that we do have several of our own flags, and I will also be posting a link to a website that has like tons of Black American flags. I don't like the RBG flag because I'm not a Pan-African, like I'm not with the Pan-African. Like I like this version of the American flag more than the red, black, and green. That's just me. It's just me. Like I said, if you haven't seen my Fly Your Flag video or some of my other videos on this type of thing, like please go check them out. I'll include links in the description box. But I wanted another one of these for the Black Americans because we're getting ready to film season 3. It had to be pushed back a whole year because of COVID, but we are getting ready to film, so I hope that we're able to incorporate this. But I really want to get my hands on a full-sized, I would like a full-size Juneteenth flag, and I would also like a full-size one of these bad boys, because I need this. This DACS, this is my own merch, which I will also have links to in the description box for anybody that wants to check it out. It's hand embroidered, and obviously the DACS stands for Descendants of American Chattel Slavery. It's ethically made. And again, just like, don't let anybody steal your joy today, guys. Like, please, please, please don't. Please drop your Cash Apps in the comments as well, or maybe I'll most likely also do a post on Instagram. Don't let anybody steal your joy today. It's for Black Americans only, period. And I'm not going to be online today. I'm going to be out having a grand old time like I always am on Juneteenth. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Obviously there will be tons of links and information in the description box. And please just don't let anybody steal your joy or try to like undercut the significance of this day, the significance of this celebration, and what it means to us as Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Food for thought as always. Let me know what you think in the comments. Happy Juneteenth to my Black Americans. Love y'all so much. See you guys next time. Well, I guess see you guys tomorrow. Last year on Juneteenth, we watched Miss Juneteenth, which was so fitting. I don't know if we have anything planned for tomorrow, so maybe you guys can leave your suggestions as well. So see you guys next time. Peace.